it's Sigrun with Universal Pagan Temple. So I've got some disturbing news that I just saw. So apparently, a bill has just been introduced into Congress that would allow the current Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, to revoke the passports of US citizens if they criticize Israel. Now, this is a threat to our free speech in this country. Um, and it's just one more incremental step towards this theocratic republic that these Christian Zionists are, that they want so badly, that they're simping for. They'll do anything to get this. Um, and, about the surveillance state, we have to remember that J.D. Vance, our current vice president, he was funded by Peter Thiel. And who is he? Well, he helped create Palantir. And if you don't know what Palantir is, that's going to be a big thing in the coming future. Unfortunately, surveillance of everything that you do, just kind of Palantir. If that sounds familiar, if you've read or seen Lord of the Rings, the Palantir stone that what Saruman had in Orthanc, and he was using to communicate with Sauron, but then Gandalf saw, that he was using it, and he's like, "Oh, the stones are not all accounted for. We don't know who else could be watching." So that's basically, if you need a quick frame of reference of what Palantir is, if you haven't heard of it, it's basically like that, but all the systems are going to be accounted for. Although naming it Palantir kind of sets it up for things to go missing, and then all the systems won't be accounted for, and information could get out to unknown sources. And just, we can talk about a surveillance state that we've already kind of been in a surveillance state since post 9/11, but even more so now. And another point I wanted to bring up is that the energies right now are very similar to post 9/11, after this assassination of Charlie Kirk this past week. And people prior, I remember seeing videos on it, people talking about it, that just, there's this funny, uneasy feeling that they couldn't place their finger on, except the last time that they felt like this was prior to 9/11. And a lot of us weren't old enough or weren't watching the news. But the older generation, they had more of a pinpoint on it. I myself, I was 14 when 9/11 occurred. So I was kind of aware, but not really paying attention to it. I was more occupied with the school and going home and playing Ultima Online with my friends. But yeah, in this surveillance state, it's setting up this theocratic republic, because remember that the Christian Zionists, they want power, and they want to give Israel more power. And, revoking the passports of American citizens. One, if you don't have a driver's license or some state issued ID, a lot of people do use a passport as a form of ID. But then it also, if a passport is revoked, then you can't move, you can't leave the country. You're stuck here. So it becomes an open air prison. And I shouldn't have to tell you that that's extremely messed up. And, it creates an environment where we have, our freedom of speech is out the door. And, they could use the excuse of, it's to prevent anti-Semitism. Well, not every Jew is a Zionist. And then they're also talking about, anti-Christian behavior. Well, unfortunately, a lot of Christians create an environment where Christianity is viewed negatively because of their behavior. We all know this as pagans. We've all faced it. We've all had to deal with this throughout our lives. We have to ourselves, there's a term called the broom closet where we can't come out and tell people that we are pagan because of fear of backlash, of some people have even been fired. And so then they have to go through a lot of legal legwork to get their jobs back. Because, it is a violation of our rights. But yeah, just something to be aware of and something to, focus our energies to, to stop, to, if we complain enough, if this is so unpopular, they won't pass it. I always tell myself that it's not entirely hopeless because our voices online are pretty powerful. The more we complain, the better things will be. I know it sounds kind of counterintuitive. You don't want to be called a Karen, but just sharing a post goes a long way. Alrighty, well, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, blessed be.